Hello, everyone. Should probably. All right, there we go. Hope you guys are having a good day today. So I have some pretty cool stuff to show you guys. Today's going to be a regular review day, but I wanted to show you guys a couple things first that I got from a very good friend of mine. On YouTube, he's known as Dreamer's Coma, and he does a lot of really cool videos experimenting with different cameras, and he makes music videos for some music artists that really aren't that well known, but he enjoys making videos for them, and so he does, which I think is super awesome. And I'll leave a link to his channel at the end of the video in the description, and if I can figure out how to have an annotation pop up, there's probably one popping up right about now. So anyway, he gave me some cool stuff that I want to show you guys. Alright, so first off, this awesome bag to carry around the awesome stuff he gave me with. It's pretty dope. And inside the bag, we have the Canon PowerShot ELF 110 HS. This is going to be my new filming camera, guys, and I'm super excited to use it. And it's going to be really good for the videos because it has good stabilizers, and the focus range is pretty wide, which is good for videos kind of like this. And so I'm super excited. Thank you so much for giving this to me, Dreamer's Coma. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this, so I'm super excited about that. And here's just the battery pack. And I would show you guys the rest of it, but I'm actually currently filming with it. So he also gave me this super cool tripod, which as you can tell, I'm using. And this really cool, here, I'm going to go ahead and take it out real fast. Alright, so this really cool phone holder to go on the tripod, so I can just slip my phone right in there and it holds it. But yeah, this tripod is super cool. You know, you can put it on a bunch of things. So like if I wanted to just stick it on this armchair here and film it just like that, I totally could. So this thing is super versatile. So as you guys can see, the camera just screws onto the tripod. And so very soon I will be using this camera to film with. I would be using it to film this video, but it takes an SD card, and the one that I have in my phone, I can't find the adapter to fit it into this one. I have a micro SD card in this right now, and it has an adaptation thingy. You guys know what I'm talking about, where I can stick it into here. Anyway, I can't find that. So as soon as I do, or as soon as I get another SD card, I'm going to be using this bad boy. So having this camera is going to up the quality of these videos immensely. So I'm super thankful for this. Thank you again so much, Dreamer's Coma. I really appreciate it. And also, just again, everything about these videos is going to now be better because of this camera. The sound, the lighting, everything. So super excited to have this. Super excited. So now moving on to what today's video is actually going to be about. I'm going to be reviewing Action Comics number 1001. And it's the first review I've done in a while. I think only 3 videos ago was when I did the last one, but I uploaded that in July, so it still has been a while since I've reviewed one. But hopefully you guys will enjoy, and yeah, hope you like it. Man, the extra stability that this tripod gives is just so cool. Okay, so this is Action Comics number 1001, and it's been probably almost a month since I read it all the way through. I skimmed through it just to be ready for just so I could review it again, but I didn't read it panel for panel. I remember it being kind of boring, so I just skimmed through it again. But anyway, it's not the best. It's not the worst either, but I don't know. You just expect more from an Action Comics. So it starts out Superman taking on these bad guys. They're apparently robbing LexCorp, and he's catching all these bullets, which looks pretty cool. Patrick Gleason is on art, and I really like Patrick Gleason's art. Well, for the most part anyway. There's a couple panels I'll point out in here that I wasn't a huge fan of, but I mean, for the most part, I really like his style. So the bad guys are trying to be, I mean, they're not trying to be, it's how Bendis is writing them. Bendis is trying to be funny, and when Bendis tries to be funny, nothing is funny. Stop! I'm trying. You're still doing it! I can't stop myself. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing both of us. Ah! I want my own way. Okay. As you guys can tell, I'm not very enthusiastic about this. Yeah, just not very enthusiastic about this at all. So then they run out of ammo, and Superman says, "You're out of ammo? ? Oh, good. Hey, question, have either of you heard anything about the rash of fires popping up all around the city?" And this guy, one of them answers, then the other one was like freaking out. Same one that was freaking out up here. It's not funny, really. The art is kind of funny. But the actual dialogue is not at all. So Superman just takes his gun, and the guy's like, "Oh my gee, oh." You can read that yourself. Again, the cool art, I like it when Superman's, everything besides the red is silhouetted. I think that's really cool. I guess red and yellow, but I'm a fan of these. They look more like trunks. For the past 7-ish years, Superman has not had the red trunks. It's just been blue all the way, but I really like the classic red trunks, and the way Patrick Gleason draws them, they go down a bit further so they don't look so much like underpants, and they look more like the classic strongman uniforms of the 1930s, which is what Superman's costume and basically all of the early superheroes' costumes were based off of. So that's really cool to see. So Bendis has said that Action Comics is going to focus more on Metropolis, and Superman is going to focus more on his adventures and him actually being Superman. And of course, since Bendis is writing both series, I mean, that's what we're going to get. But I don't know if I'm a huge fan of how this whole Metropolis thing is going to go. So far, it's been all right. The newsroom is okay. This is one of the panels that I didn't really care for. Clark Kent just looks slouched, and I mean, okay, I get that's what Clark Kent is kind of supposed to be, is just this really kind of lame, boring type of character, and I mean, that art definitely captures that. But you can only hide being Superman so well. That just, at first I wasn't sure that was Clark Kent, because usually he doesn't look that out of shape and clumsy and just uninteresting. So I guess on one hand, good job to Patrick Gleason for making it a really good disguise for Superman. On the other hand, you go from this, which is a really cool scene to this. And you just, as the reader, you're kind of supposed to know that it's Clark Kent, aka Superman, but in this it was just kind of hard to tell. Anyway, so yeah, they're all talking about where Lois Lane went, what's going on with all the fires, blah blah blah. So in the middle of that, Superman takes off again to visit the deputy fire chief. And finds out that he is now a suspect for the fires. Twist, whatever. This kind of looks interesting. I'm sorry. This just caught my eye and it looks more interesting than the actual comic. The 2000s. And there you have your first generation iPod. I definitely remember these, and I had a friend who had one. I never did because we just didn't do electronic devices like this until I was much older, but it does still look cool, and I want to see it, even though it's definitely going to have a liberal bias because Tom Hanks and CNN are producing it, so but it does look interesting. Alright, so then Superman visits this kid who supposedly knows something about the fires without actually giving any information, if that makes sense. So there's still nothing revealed about who it could be. And then, so Bendis apparently has this bad habit, because he's done it like 3 times now, of writing a character one way and then in the next issue completely turning that character on its head and making it somebody completely new, and you're like, what the heck? I mean, they still look the same, but they don't act the same at all. What the heck? And here's another example. So in the entire Man of Steel story, this deputy fire chief, who I don't really remember the name of, I think her last name is Moore, but that's just a guess. She now is talking about how Superman is dangerous and how she is all of a sudden suspicious of him, and yeah, but you have a vested interest in this truth, and you're a little teeny bit intimidating to a witness and me. See my problem here? The city inspectors are going to be all over this. How do I know you're telling the truth? Damn. Okay, in her first appearance, she literally had a crush on Superman. That's what was implied. And now she's trying to be this strong female standing up to Superman, and you're wrong and you deserve suspicion, and yeah, I got you now. And it's just very annoying, and it makes me want to barf. Okay. If you're gonna write a character, if you're gonna create a character, make sure you keep her the same. It's not that hard. It really isn't. And don't turn her into some annoying little crap bucket. So yeah, more talking. This kid still doesn't really know anything. He was paid to do something or other, and he spent all the money, and I don't know, it's going through this again. I'm still very uninterested. And so apparently this kid tells him that it was a bald guy that gave him the money, and so he pulls up his database of all the bad guys who are bald, and right off the bat you already know it's none of these guys. So even though all the art is cool, you already know that this is kind of just a waste of time. Top 3, you got Mr. Freeze, Brainiac, Lex Luthor. Then after that, I don't really recognize anybody besides Hugo Strange, and I'm thinking this might be Clayface. But yeah, I think maybe this is one of the Tweedledum brothers. I don't know. I want to find out more about the dude with the patch. He looks like Lex Luthor turned Nick Fury. The mix between Lex Luthor and Nick Fury. This guy looks boring. That guy kind of interesting. This might be Parasite. I'm not sure. Don't know who that is. I want to know who this guy is. This looks like a Batman villain from the Batman TV show. And if any of you guys watching this know who that is, let me know. I want to know who that is and read more about him. Okay, so anyway, he's doing all this research. See, this is a better Clark Kent. You still wouldn't guess at all that that's Superman, but he's not as slouched and dumb looking as the first one. You can tell this is Clark Kent. You know, the last one you really couldn't. And then you meet this annoying feminist chick who looks like the only article she's written about is transgender rights. Okay, so I do gotta say that's not as bad as I've seen some of them. Some of them, you know, have like the whole thing going on. They have the purple hair and the half-shaved head and whatever. Even a shirt saying, "Ask me about my feminist agenda," yada yada yada. She just looks like she, you know, didn't feel like putting any effort into dressing up. But the way she's written, so she's like, she says it twice. So Lois Lane left, you know, because that was so necessary for the story. And Trish is trying to find out where the heck she went. Clark isn't telling her anything. And then Trish is like, well, you know, she left you for Superman. I've heard through a very good source that she left you for Superman. And it's like, yes, we get it already. But she didn't leave for Superman. She left for Superman's dad. And then he has to leave to go be Superman again. And then we meet the bad guy who has all these TV screen monitors. Why does every bad guy's base look like this? This is the most generic bad guy base I've ever seen. You really couldn't come up with anything better than that. And this is on Bendis. This is not on the artist, on Patrick Gleason. This is how Bendis wanted it to look. Just like every generic thing, every bad guy base ever. So this guy's talking to somebody else who we don't know. Looks like they're setting up Superman. I forgot all this. Okay, so then we meet this guy who is talking to the other guy, and then they have this whole gang of bad guys, and the bad guys are trying to stand up against the first bad guy, the guy with the teacup. No, wait, what is that? A clamshell or something? I don't know. And then out of nowhere, this spirit erupts. It's this red ghost chick, whoever that is. So new villain. I'm your new personal HE double hockey sticks. Okay. At least he's coming up. At least Bendis is trying to come up with something new instead of what he did in. Well, not actually. He really didn't do that. It was Dan Jurgens who went back and tried to change Superman's past with Oz and everything like that. So I mean, at least Bendis is trying to come up with new bad guys. But I mean, a fire ghost demon. Where have I heard that one before? So anyway, we'll see if it's an interesting bad guy or not. It looks cool, but there's no motivation yet. And without motivation, being a bad guy is kind of pointless. So anyway, I think we're about to the end of this thing. Oh. Yeah. This is stupid. Lois Lane is back on Earth. But of course nobody knows it. She's keeping it to herself. Why, we don't know. At least I think that's supposed to be Lois Lane. So, yeah. Right now they're just calling it the Red Cloud, that creature. Yeah. So that was Action Comics number 1001. And was it worth $4? No, it was not. And now I think I'm going to go take a nap because this story put me to sleep. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if it was a little slow and a little boring, but hey, that's how the comic was, so that's how the video was. Hopefully I will be more into the next one. We'll see though. Until next time, guys, take care. Thanks for watching.